Hello, welcome to the bizBox webinar, which we prepared together with HISENSE Gorenje group for all their suppliers. A few pointers before starting. The webinar is being recorded, so everyone who registered for the webinar will receive a recording tomorrow, and the recording will also be published on the bizBox website. We will also forward the recording to all suppliers of the HISENSE Gorenje group companies. You can ask questions during the webinar, and in the end, we have set aside time for your questions that will arise during the webinar. Just a little short introduction. My name is Anja. I am an invoicing and EDI sales specialist at ZZI. I am the responsible manager in the HISENSE Gorenje supplier onboarding project for the exchange of invoices with suppliers. My colleague Uroš Jelenc is also with us today, who will later show you the creation of an invoice in the bizBox portal. Project managers from HISENSE Gorenje are also with us today. Uroš, Nika, greetings. Nika, I suggest you add an introductory word for your suppliers that are with us today.
Yes, hello everyone on my behalf too. So I'm Nika and I'm representative for receipt of electronic invoices for Gorenje. We started with this project of electronic receipt of invoices for the entire Gorenje group, mainly because we wasted a lot of time searching for invoices. Many duplicity of invoices happened, and there were also a lot of extra manually work because we must collect the data from invoices manually. With the electronic receipt of invoices project, we save a lot of time in posting and also processing invoices. And also one of the main advantages is faster booking process and safe receipt of invoices, and for our partner, timely payment of the invoice. For electronic receipt of invoices from partners, we cooperate with our external provider, like Anja said, bizBox. And that's why we invite you today on this webinar, that you will receive all the necessary information about how to prepare and send invoice to Gorenje. So now I hand over communication back to Anja, and Anja, please give more information about it.
Nika, thank you for this introductory word from your side. Maybe we can start. At the presentation, we see companies that participate in the mandatory receipt of invoices within the group. Here are just a few of them who already started with receiving invoices through bizBox network. From now on, all these companies will receive invoices exclusively in the structured invoice format in bizBox network. To begin with, what is the definition of an invoice? An electronic invoice or e-invoice is an invoice that has been issued, sent, and received in a structured data format that allows it to be processed automatically and electronically. Visualization and additional attachments can also be added to the invoice. Okay, a lot of companies say, what about PDF on emails? PDF on email is not a structured invoice format and does not enable automation, traceability, and secure electronic data exchange. We all know that we can also receive potential viruses via email. As we can see, invoicing in EU and worldwide are becoming increasingly more legally regulated and are in most countries recommended obligatory in business transaction with public administration. And let's take a look at how EU member states already exchange invoices. In the picture, you can see the countries marked in dark blue, which are already have more than 50% invoice exchange coverage, while the rest are slowly following them. For example, Italy has mandatory exchange of invoices even in business-to-business segment since 2019, and all countries have a big level of exchange also in Scandinavian state countries. Let's see what awaits us in the future in the field of exchange of invoices. You can see from the timeline that more and more countries are switching to the mandatory exchange of invoices, also in business-to-business segment. For example, Serbia, which starting in this 2023, introduced mandatory exchange in business-to-government as well as business-to-business in one step. And the other EU and members will also follow soon, as we can see also Australia and some of the Asia states are becoming more and more involved in invoicing. Okay, VAT in digital age. In December 2022, the European Commission published its long-awaited proposal for legislative changes regarding the VAT in digital age. The proposal includes mandatory e-reporting and invoice operations for intra-EU transactions. Intra-EU transactions refer to commercial transactions between different countries of the European Union. It is one of the most important steps of the EU tax reform, which affects not only European companies, but also non-EU companies doing business with EU. In the field of invoices, the changes are aimed to simpler and more coordinated business with invoices. The definition of electronic invoice will be harmonized with the definition used in public procurement in directive from 2018, and will include only structured electronic invoices. In unstructured electronic formats such as PDF will also no longer be considered as electronic invoices from a tax point of view. And the requirement for the customer's consent to receive invoices will be removed. Also, some data elements added to the invoice will be linked to the payment of the invoice. Also, all these collective accounts will be discontinued. Okay, so why did Gorenje HISENSE group companies choose bizBox? bizBox is ZZI, as we are a provider of bizBox platform, is the leading invoice exchange provider in the region. We enable safe and reliable exchange. bizBox services are integrated in more than 60 ERP or DMS systems, and bizBox includes an e-directory of partners with whom you can connect in no time and formally exchange invoices without any additional settings. The bizBox network already includes more than 17,000 recipients, and also, like bizBox network, is connected to other international networks and EDI providers, which ensures easy exchange with partners outside the bizBox network. The bizBox platform includes tools and services for small businesses or for companies that do not yet have the options of creating invoices in structured format. The solution enables easy preparing and sending, also is receiving to all partners within bizBox or connected networks. ZZI as provider is also certified electronic document storage. Here in the picture, we can see a technical display of the exchange of invoices with Gorenje HISENSE group companies. Regardless of your invoice, EDI format or exchange method, bizBox makes sure that the recipient on the other side receive the invoice in the way they receive it. So we do the mapping on our side, and we can use different EDI connections to connect to your businesses. You can send an invoice to the companies in the group in prescribed format, such as UBL, BIS 3.0. This is the people format. EDIFACT, Fattura. If you do not have the possibility to prepare these EDI formats for invoices, you can send us your current format, and we will look together with my bizBox support team for a possible mapping transformation on our side. As I mentioned before, bizBox is interoperability network, exchange network that is already connected or is in the process of being connected to other networks or EDI providers. The picture shows only a few within who we are in constant contact to ensure easy exchange between partners. If you don't see your EDI provider in the picture, there's no problem. Just send us the provider's contacts and we will arrange a connection for exchanging invoices with companies within group. In the previous picture, you saw that one of the more prominent networks is PayPal. PayPal is a global hub for exchange of structured documents. Some countries have also adopted PayPal as a national hub for exchange of invoices. For example, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, also Australia, you can see with a blue color. With its PayPal access point that we as invoicing provider have, bizBox enables the easy exchange of invoices with the, all stakeholders who use PayPal to exchange invoices or any other ED documents. Each company in the PayPal network obtains its own PayPal ID on the basis of which the invoices are then routed. If your company already uses PayPal for exchange, you can contact us and we will provide you with the PayPal ID and any additional instructions for every company in Gorenje HISENSE Group. According to the list of today's participants, I see that quite a few Italian suppliers are present. ZZI as bizBox exchange provider is also directly connected to the Italian system. So to all companies within the Gorenje HISENSE Group, you can send an invoice via Italian system using the codice destinario listed below. Here we have done the automatic transformation mapping on the invoice from Italian ED standard of invoice Fattura to the invoice standard received by the companies in the group. So for all of you Italian suppliers, just use this codice destinario and Gorenje HISENSE Group companies that we listed before will receive invoice from you. As I mentioned earlier, there are still quite a few companies that do not have the option of preparing invoices in structured format. These companies can choose the bizBox portal solution for preparing and sending invoices. These portal solutions, they can use not only to send invoices to companies in the Gorenje HISENSE Group, but also to all customers in Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia. We are more present here, but also to partners in connected networks. So the advantages of using bizBox portal solutions, you can always select recipient buyer from the list from bizBox directory. You just one time only entry of items, services, which you provide for companies in Gorenje HISENSE Group, which you then just select another time from the list of items. And another option is that you copy already sent invoice, then you just change the invoice number, dates, and number of items. Here I would also like to ask my colleague Uroš, who is today with us, to briefly explain, to show how the preparation and sending invoices in bizBox portal is done. Just one moment, I will change the presentation. Presenter. Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna briefly show you on how to use the electronic ordering applications. For starters, we go into the application. First, we have to add the recipients, the people who will receive the invoice. For this, we go into code lists and we go to parties. Here, we're going to add a new company. I'm going to write ZZI and we click on search. We can choose any of the above. I'm going to go into the second page. I'm going to add this one and the information gets inserted. Here we have to add the payment account, the payment service provider, and the registration number. After this, we click on save and go back. Then we go into e-procurement. We choose a new invoice. We can enter the recipient here, which is this one. The information gets filled. Here we have to edit our information, which is this one. We just have to add the payment account service provider is inserted. We go back. Then we have to enter the following information: payment account, service provider. Choose on this one. After we inserted all this information, we have to enter the invoice number. I'm going to insert in invoice like this. Let me just move. After this, we click on continue. Here we have to enter the mandatory information, which is the due date, the deliver date, or the e-invoicing period. I'm going to choose the end of the month. Business process type, I'm going to choose P1. Purpose code, which I will enter other. Payment purpose, we can enter payment for goods and services like the below. Then we have to enter one of the above: contract reference, order reference, or dispatch advice reference. I'm going to enter contract 2022. Then we have to enter the reference number, which can be SI00 or any other number. Then we have to enter the payment method. I will click on the invoice has to be paid. After we fill out this mandatory information, we can add our items or our articles. For this, we click on add item. We then write item 1 like so. We enter the quantity, the unit, which can be piece or any other item, and then the price, which can be 5. If we have VAT, we can choose VAT. I'm going to enter standard rate, which is 22 in Slovenia. And after this, we click on calculate, which brings us the final price. And then we click on prepare for sending. Here we get a visualization where we can look at all the entered information. After we do this, we click on send, which sends the invoice. The sent invoice can then be checked at eInvoices, and we can see the status is sent. After this has been delivered, it will change to delivered. That's all from my side. Thank you. Anja?
Uroš, thank you. I will just put back on my screen. Okay, does it shown?
Yes.
Okay. Just one question, Uroš. We can add also some additional attachments to the invoice before sending, right?
Yes, yes. You can add PDFs, Excel, or any other attachment.
Okay, thank you. So what are the steps to start sending invoices to Gorenje HISENSE Group? The first, check the possibility of preparing a structured invoice in your business program. For example, UBL, EDIFACT, PayPal. Then contact your EDI provider, who should contact bizBox, our support team, or they can contact directly me for any additional regarding these specific connections. If you do not have the options of preparing a structured invoice or EDI provider, you can choose this bizBox portal solution and just contact our sales support team or me directly for this possibility of using the bizBox portal solution. As we mentioned before, these bizBox portal solutions you can use not only for HISENSE Gorenje group companies, you can use this for all Slovenian, Croatian, Serbian buyers automatically for sending invoices to other buyers in some other networks. You should provide us a list of VAT numbers of your buyers, and we will check the possibility if you could already send the invoices to them through our bizBox portal solution. Are there any questions for now regarding whenever you have some questions for me or for Gorenje, you can contact me directly or our bizBox support team. Also on site of HISENSE Gorenje, you can contact Nika. Okay, we have one question. Do you have any scenario using EDI directly from SAP? The SAP systems uses their format of data is IDOC. So we have a lot of projects that have already been done using EDI invoicing through SAP. When we do the mapping from IDOC to any European EDI invoice format. So if you need any additional information regarding invoicing through SAP and connection, you can contact me directly. So there is no problem, but you should know that every IDOC from SAP system for companies are different, so it is not one-on-one the mapping. It's a project that has to be done. Okay, we have another questions. What are the costs for the supplier? As long as you have already prepared an invoice in structured format and connect to bizBox with your existing EDI provider, there are no additional costs from our side. But if you would like to use bizBox services, there are exchange or setup costs depending on which setup options would you use. For example, the portal solution is available for you free of charge. So this portal for preparing, we only charge transactions for sent documents. For more information, you can contact me directly on my mail. Also here I have prepared this packages, EDI packages that we have for sending invoices or any other EDI documents. As I said, receiving of documents by bizBox network is free of charge. We only charge sending transaction. Transaction is 1 cent invoice. So we have prepaid and subscription, monthly subscription EDI packages that you can choose. As I mentioned, portal solutions is free of charge. Okay. The presentation will be sent by mail. No problem. We will send to to all suppliers, or maybe yeah, we will send it, no problem. Okay, we are currently using another EDFACT, not D.01B as described before. Okay, here you have the options to have your EDI provider do the mapping to the correct EDI format that Gorenje HISENSE Group receives, or we can do the mapping on our side. Of course, this is additional service project that needs to be considered, and some cost may be there. Okay, are the EDI packages in the picture limited to a month? Okay, ED packages are currently not limited. That is when you order a prepaid package, and when you run off transaction, you order a new ones. As I mentioned, you can use these packages not only for Gorenje, but for all partners in bizBox network. So maybe you can we can analyze all of your other buyers in this region and see to who else you can send invoices, and then you can choose the AD package that suits you most. So are there any more questions? If not, I would like to thank you all for attending to this webinar. Here are my direct contacts that you can contact me. If I will not be available, my bizBox support team is 24/7. As I said, the webinar was a record, and it will be online maybe already tomorrow on our bizBox website. Also, all of you suppliers that were registered on this webinar will receive it automatically by GoToWebinar tool. So at this point, I would like to thank you all, and don't hesitate to contact me.